Hello everyone, I am Tikruna and today I'm going to talk about how to get Legend. I've done it 3 times so far, and I'm going to today go over the 3 decks I got Legend with, do a couple of games with them, and see how it goes, have a little bit of fun. So the first time I got Legend was in Test Season 4, and that was with this exact Warlock list. I haven't played Sue since Test Season 4 actually, so it will be kind of fun to see how it goes. Obviously this has 2 Doomguards. Doomguard in my opinion is the without Doomguard Sue would be the worst deck ever pretty much. Like Doomguard is such an overpowered card. It's 5/7 with charge for 5 mana. And in Sue, the drawback isn't really that big a deal. So that's it. That's just absurd. A 5/7 charge for 5 mana, and this is pretty much the whole reason to play Sue, in my opinion. Okay, then I've got Leroy. I probably wouldn't play Leroy today. It's just so bursty. I would many times you're gonna have it in your hand, and you probably don't really want to play it because of the whelps. But yeah, so some people run it. Like I'm just going to go over what's different from my list from the normal Sue, and why that is. So for instance, you will notice that I have 2 Scarlet Crusaders and no Harvest Golems. When I played this deck back in Test Season 4, I liked Scarlet Crusader a lot more than Harvest Golem for the fact that it attacks for 3 more, and for another reason that I'm gonna point out in a bit. But the Scarlet Crusader is almost always better than Harvest Golem, except if you are against a Shaman, which can kill with Earthshock, or if you are against someone who runs Blood Knights. In those 2 scenarios, you would rather have Harvest Golems, but otherwise, the 1 extra power is really good, and the Divine Shield is a pretty big deal. There's 1 extra reason in my deck to run this over Harvest Golem, and that is because I actually run the Sun Fury Protector as well as the Defender of Argus, so I have 2 ways to give a taunt, and it's really nice to give things with Divine Shield taunt, because then your opponent has to hit it 2 times in order to get past it. Where if you and you will notice that I'm not playing the Shield Bearer, for instance. Shield Bearer, even though it's 4 health, it will often just take 1 hit and don't even attack the creature. That's like, it doesn't deal damage to the creature that attacked into it, so it just dies for free basically. But if you give a creature with Divine Shield taunt, it will never die for free. They will have to attack it twice, and their creatures take damage twice from doing so. So it's just a lot better that way. I think Reynard originally said that Shield Bearer was irreplaceable in his deck, and that you played it because of the mirror. Is that true? I'm actually not 100% sure about that. But I actually, when I played this deck, I kept track of my win rates in the different matchups, and my overall win rate before I hit Legend with it was 70%, and in the mirror was actually one of my best matchups, and I had 80% win rate with this deck in the mirror, mainly because of giving these Divine Shield creatures taunt with Sun Fury Protectors and the Defender of Argus, and because of also running 1 copy of a Mind Control tech. Now usually your opponent will never have 4 creatures on the board, and today I wouldn't run Mind Control tech, but in the situation where you are behind on the board and your opponent has 4 creatures, it gives you a 3-for-1, and that is pretty huge. Very few cards in the game are able to give you a 3-for-1. And what I mean by 3-for-1 is that you play a creature, then you essentially kill one of their creatures chosen at random, and you play that creature yourself. So you gain 2 creatures and remove one of theirs. So that's 3 cards for 1 card. So it's a gigantic tempo swing. And the only reason it doesn't see any play in Constructed is because it's so hard to set it up. But it is interesting in when it does trigger, it's huge. And there's one other card that does kind of the same thing. It's in Priest. It's the Cabal Shadow Priest. It steals a creature, and that's also a 3-for-1, and that's a really, really sick card too. Okay, but there's actually one combo I want to briefly talk about with this. It actually comes with Leroy for 7 mana, where you give them 2 extra creatures and then steal one of them. And usually, like, if they have 2 creatures, then you have a 50-50 of getting an actually good creature, but like 50% of the time you will, of course, steal a 1/1 Whelp, which is almost irrelevant, but it happens sometimes. It's just something that I put into the deck originally to have a chance in the case where my opponent got way far ahead. So in those situations, I would have some kind of way to get 3-for-1 and maybe get a chance of coming back into the game. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't play that today. I would exchange it for something like anything else. Basically, would be better probably. You could, for instance, cut Leroy, cut Mind Control Tech, add 2 copies of Dark Iron Dwarf. That would be fine. Because that's another thing about Sue. Effects that pump the creatures that you have, like Abusive Sergeant, Direwolf Alpha, Shattered Sun Cleric, Defender of Argus. They are all really great because what you're essentially doing is you are playing a lot of cheap creatures, and then you try to trade up. So you try to, for instance, trade your 1-drops for their 2-drops, or even for their 3-drops, and that is why Abusive Sergeant is by far one of the best 1-drops in the game, is because it allows your other 1-drops to trade up. For instance, if I have a Flame Imp and they play a Children Yeti, I can essentially trade that up into his 4-drop with an Abusive Sergeant, and that is pretty ridiculous. But that's enough talking about this. I'm just gonna jump into some action and let's see how it works out. All right, we are in the queue for the first game. Let's see how it goes. Who will we face? Another Warlock. Okay. So I will assume this is Sue. That like it's a mirror, and in that case, I would really like to have a Soulfire. Okay. Let's see. I am not gonna keep the Scarlet Crusader. I'm probably gonna keep the Void Warlock just because it's a 1-drop. The Abusive Sergeant. It's nice that you can essentially, if he, for instance, coins out a Knife Juggler, you can trade this into it. So it's possible that I should keep it for that reason. But it might also just be dead. I'm not going to keep it. I would rather have something like a Direwolf or a Soulfire. Okay, Soulfire is really good. Basically, in the mirror, you're always looking for Soulfire, because it just provides such a huge tempo swing, and the Sue player who has the early gets control of the board in the beginning is the one who can buff his creatures and attack favorably. So it's just so huge.
You shall not pass.
Okay. So okay.
So many possibilities.
I think I'll just play the Abusive Sergeant and put some damage on his shield bearer here. It's a little bit unfortunate that we can only play that thing and nothing else. It's a little bit too weak to just life tap, I think. And this is not something that I want to Soulfire. Okay, that was a very weak turn by him too. So let's see. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Yeah, that's perfect. I'm pretty much just getting this for free, and that's why it's a terrible card in the mirror. And I'm just going to kill this for free, basically, too. Like, my creature surviving is really, really good for me. So this I'm going to play now, and it doesn't really matter where I put it in this situation. Like, the only way it would matter is I'm probably going to play Defender of Argus next turn, but this is going to die regardless because of this, so it doesn't really matter where I put it. In the case where he didn't kill this, I guess I would probably be boosting that, but that's fine. Okay, let's see. So he did kill that. I'm pretty much just gonna put down the Defender of Argus, and I am actually gonna get rid of this thing just so it doesn't take off the shield there, even though this becomes a little bit weak to Mortal Coil and Elven Archer. But having the taunt on the Divine Shield is just so huge because it allows me in the mirror to attack him, but he has to attack my creatures. That is just so huge. Oh, Doomguard. Let's see. Okay, so I could put a lot of damage on him. I think I'll actually go ahead and play the Doomguard here. I don't care that much if I discard Leroy. Getting the Doomguard out is just so huge. And I'll see what I... Okay, so I discarded the two... like, that was the worst outcome. If I had discarded that, I would have been able to keep a really great card. And I'm just gonna trade this in. Because then he's forced basically to hit me... hit my Scarlet Crusader with his House Golem. Another thing I could have done is to play the Leroy, but then I would have gotten 2 Elves. And that is also one of the reasons why I don't really like Leroy all that much in this deck, because it's
So many possibilities.
it's like you it's not really doing what you want, because like if you have the board control with this deck, you are probably winning, right? So what did he actually discard here? Not really anything important. Okay, and he just loses. So yeah, that was a good example, I guess. I'll see you in the next game. Alright, and here we are for game number 2. Okay, a warrior. That is actually a really good matchup for Sue. It used to be a really good counter. Sue used to be a really good counter to Control Warrior, and Sue actually is supposed to beat all types of warriors. Control Warrior does have a chance against Sue. I used to play Control Warrior, and I actually often beat Sue because I like to run 2 Cleaves. But I would say that matchup definitely favors Sue. Okay, so I have the coin. I'm definitely going to keep 2 1-drops, and I think I'll keep the Soulfire. It's just a nice option to have to deal 4 to something. Such a huge tempo swing to be able to deal 4 for 0 mana. And I will just go ahead and use the coin here. It's a little bit unfortunate that we have both Soulfires though, since that I'm probably gonna end up discarding a Soulfire with a Soulfire. So, in retrospect, I would. It's possible that you should probably mulligan Soulfire in this matchup because you really just want creatures probably. So place this. I'm just gonna use the Direwolf Alpha to trade into it. Or am I? Yeah, I am. Might as well take that free creature. He got a creature for free, our Lebanon, and we in turn get this for free. Or basically free. I guess it's damage now, right? So it's more likely to die, but as long as it's on the board still, it's free.
My blade be thirsty.
So this is a good Soulfire target, that's perfect. So I am actually gonna Soulfire before I play my Shattered Sun because I would be fine with discarding either of these two. Because if I discard the Shattered Sun, I'm just gonna play Iron Squire and tap. And I would really hate to discard the other Soulfire though. So I am gonna use the Soulfire first. And I discarded the Iron Squire, that is perfect. Then I'm just gonna play this on this side. Boost. Let's see, do I want to play around anything specifically? Yeah. I think I should play around Whirlwind. So I'm gonna boost the Void Walker and attack for 5. And now, it is possible that I should just play the Soulfire here. So I don't end up discarding anything important with it later. Like, if, for instance, if I draw a Doomguard, it would be really awful. So I am actually just gonna go ahead and throw it at his face. It's really hard to say if that is correct or wrong, though. It really depends on my top decks. But it's so awful if I draw a Doomguard. Essentially, I'm never gonna be able to get any damage off of that Soulfire, and I will have missed 4 damage. Also, since Leroy is in fact in this version, that is another reason to maybe go for the Soulfire here, since it does have a lot of burst potential, this deck, with the Leroy. Okay, so I'm just gonna run this out. Continue putting on the pressure. Would have been nice if I got a 1-drop or 2-drop there, so I could live tap, because it is important to get some kind of card drawing going. Like this is, he could still go ahead and win this game, since he could potentially stabilize. Okay, he just plays a Frothing. Now it's just gonna die to the 4-1. I don't really understand that. Let's tap.
That was an error.
Yeah, I thought so. So let's trade here. I'll just play this out because I'm definitely gonna, like, I'm going to play the Doomguard next turn. There's just no doubt about that.
For the War Chief!
If I had kept the Soulfire, he didn't actually play any creatures until that Frothing Berserker. And that Frothing Berserker, yeah, I actually drew the Doomguard that turn, so I would not have been able to use the Soulfire for that.
So many possibilities.
I think I should probably go face with the Doomguard and the Shattered Sun here.
A paltry
Push forward.
Though it's possible that I should trade, but he's so close to being burst down. And even if you play something like Baron Geddon here, he would actually die if he did that, because this would attack into this, and this would survive at 1 hit point. Oh, that's annoying. He's probably going to trade in himself then. Yeah. So, if I had gone for the trade, I would essentially have missed 3 damage. Okay, I'm just gonna run these 2 out. So he could definitely go ahead and he could definitely win this game still. He's getting up really high in mana, so if you play something like a rag or
Armor made to fit.
that's okay. That's like not that big deal. He still takes damage when he uses the war axe, and he's not gonna gain that huge amount of armor probably from this. So the question here is, I'm definitely gonna attack his face, but the question is, do I taunt the Flame Imp, the Scarlet Crusader, or both? I think I want to taunt just the Scarlet Crusader.
So many
Because that way he has to essentially use a charge to deal with the shield, or like deal 1 damage to this. Unless he finds something like a whirlwind. So that is, I'm just going to taunt that one.
Let the pain speak to me.
Oh, so he has a whirlwind. That's very good for him. Gains a little bit of armor and gets rid of the shield. Puts us down to 1.
Back to work.
Okay. I don't know why he would do it like... Yeah, okay, of course. That's the only way he could clear my board. Okay, come on, give me something good. 5 Arias, that's not so good. I'm still gonna play them.
Fight, maggot.
My shield for Argus.
At least he's pretty close to Hellbent. And Hellbent, of course, means when you are out of cards in top decking. Like, I'm Hellbent now, for instance. It's a term from Magic the Gathering. Okay, rag. Let's see what it hits. I hope it hits me, of course, but it isn't. There's Leroy. Scarlet Crusader. I'm just gonna play the Scarlet Crusader. I'm not gonna play Leroy right now. Okay, so I'm actually going to lose this game. I'm not going to be able to press him down from this high life with him having a rag in play. Okay, let's see. That's 11, 14 damage, so it's not enough. I can try for it though. Like, I would have to get rid of this for sure. But I should probably do it with the Doom God, honestly. No, because this dies to a weld then. But that's fine, then you can't kill Leroy with a whelp. So let's do that. Let's kill this with the Doomguard. And go face with these two.
Join or die.
And let's see. He can like, I can't imagine that we survive this turn. Probably able to kill us here.
I wonder.
Armor made to fit.
Yeah, like all our burst is just gone, so even though that actually hit the correct one. I will have to life tap. Let's play the knife juggler. Play the imp. So let's see what gives us the best chance now. Is it attacking this or is it attacking face? If I don't attack this, he's just gonna kill this.
I wonder.
So I think we actually have to kill this.
A paltry task.
Hey. He has good news and bad news. Bad news is he's sick. The good news is you can play all day. Awesome. I'm gonna wait with responding to his messages until I'm done recording this.
What now?
I'll probably take one more game after this though. The games are so quick when you play Sue.
What now? Take heart. The Earth Mother is near.
Oh wow, is that really the best thing he can do? Come on, hit the imp. Yeah, perfect. Oh my god, I'm actually getting really lucky here. He should not have survived this long for sure. Bend of Argus, really? Okay. So let's play this and just go face. That's definitely the worst chance here.
Hey, catch!
That's 10 damage to his face. Obviously can't life tap anymore now. So let's see, what could I actually draw? Not really that much. Maybe if... I don't know if he's gonna let this live or this. He should probably trade into the Doomguard. Because I'm limited to one card draw a turn. But I guess if the Doomguard survived, he just armors up and the Rag kills that. Yeah, okay, so he does attack instead.
The Earth Mother are upon us.
He brawls. And my knife juggler survives. What? Does she actually have lethal? What? Wait, what? I am confused. You can obviously still not kill him. Like, if that was a wolf, he would still not have been dead. Okay. So there might actually be a chance here.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay.
Played.
Well,
We win?
hey, catch!
What? Okay, I did not expect that. Alright, so I want to talk really briefly about that last game against the Warrior, because honestly, I did not expect to win that game. I was so far behind, and I literally thought it would be impossible to get back from that spot. But it turned out, with some really good RNG on that Ragnaros, that it in fact was possible, and it actually did happen. So I guess the lesson from that is never give up, never surrender. If there is just the slightest chance, why not just take it and see if it works out sometime. It will work out. And I just want to say, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so if you have any comments, please leave them below. And thank you very much for watching. If you want to see similar videos to this one, remember to subscribe. Thank you very much.